Net, in collaboration with KAFTAN TV, presents Peace.
Good afternoon and welcome to another amazing episode of Peace Zone with Peace Builders. And I believe that you have been staying peaceful with yourself, others, and the environment despite all odds. Hope you are aware that the Nigerian gubernatorial election and the state elections dated for tomorrow has been postponed to 18th March 2023. Please, if you are a resident in any of these states where election will be held on the 18th, do make sure you perform your civic right or duty. And on the 8th of March, I want to believe that you are aware that we use the opportunity to celebrate our women internationally. And the theme of the International Women's Day 4, which was on the 8th, was about embracing equity. And briefly, I will just explain what equity is. But before I do that, I'll be introducing my co-host. You're welcome, Bilkisu.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Moses.
And I'm sure you also celebrated the women as a woman.
Yeah,
and you're looking
yes. I need to celebrate myself and other women as well.
That's very good. And I believe that it's also an opportunity for us to call for equity, just like I've said. And equity, just like we know, is a quality of being fair and impartial in every way. And this is in particular when you are looking at law, this can also relate to justice or proportionate fairness among people. So I believe one of these episodes will also be treating equity specifically. But on the Peace Talk segment today, we'll be looking at confrontation as the conflict management strategy. And joining us on this, maybe during that session, we'll be getting Dr. Adiola Adams, who is also a senior lecturer in one of our wonderful universities, to discuss the importance of strong institutions to peace building and democratic processes in Nigeria and even in Africa and any other place that democratic systems are in place. As always, this show is an interactive one, and it gives you the opportunity to share your views on the discussion. So today we'll be looking right into the matter, which is confrontation. I am Moses Abolade, your peace building facilitator and host. And just like I've introduced, Bilkisu is here with me. Sorry for pronouncing your name that way. Bilkisu is with me, and we'll be doing justice to that. But while we are going into it, I want Bilkisu to tell us and talk to us about confrontation in your own words.
Okay, I am Bilkisu Aliu Kana, as you rightly said. Confrontation from the peace building perspective is an act of challenging a situation or opposing force about something. It could be fact, it could be evidence, it could also be other objective criteria. While confrontation might sound negative, it is advisable and most conflict situation in reaching negotiable agreements. You see, confrontation, in the other hand, is not same as violence because it's a non-violent and also a challenging situation of any form. So most people mistake confrontation from violence. Yeah. When you are confronting somebody, it's different from a violent situation. So confrontation is a non-violent situation.
Yeah. So sometimes a lot of people believe that, just like you said, that confrontation is something that is violent.
Yes.
That means people want to be violent or want to carry cutlass or gun. No, confrontation in this sense is much deeper than that. And when we should use confrontation in a conflict situation, it's important that we should know these things. And I'll be sharing some of the ways we can use confrontation in this. Number one, when you are sure that you are right based on fact and not emotions. Now, when you're in a conflict situation, it's not like other things that we know emotions will be boiling. You want to show that you are the one winning. But beyond that, you must calm down. You must look at the situation with logic and present your fact. Now, number two time you can, on the second time on this particular list I'll be sharing, is that when you know that not responding to this situation will empower injustice and other forms of structural violence in the long term. Now, when you see injustice, you have several options to look out for. You might decide to either ignore. We've discussed some of them on this particular show. You might try to avoid them. You might ignore them. You might even strategically withdraw. But if you discover that this would be inflicting on structural violence or it will be encouraging injustice in the long term, it's just best for you to confront this situation. But when you are confronted, we'll still discuss how well to confront a situation. The number three thing I'll be discussing is that when you should do this is when you have done your risk analysis. How do you do your risk analysis? Just like people that do profit and loss. Now, when you want to embark on a journey, you place it, you write it down, you try to check it. What will be my gain if I embark on this conflict? What will be my losses? And when you place those two together, you will find every means to choose the best approach. So, Bilikisu, maybe you help us also share from your wealth of experience when we should involve in confronting a particular conflict situation.
Okay, you know, when you want to confront a conflict situation, you should know that it is when you are sure that the power relation is equal and the situation is not life-threatening. That's when you need to use confrontation. But when you know that the situation at hand is life-threatening, you're not supposed to use confrontation. You need to strategically withdraw from such situation in order not to harm other party.
That's true.
I know when life is involved, you just need to be very careful in handling such situation. And the next one is when your engagement will do no harm. To sit or when you know that your confrontation will do
no
harm to the other party, you need to withdraw from such situation, because if you are confronting a situation and you are one-sided, you are supporting one party and neglecting the other party, and you are exposing the other party to you need
violence.
You need to withdraw from such situations.
And it's also important to join that maybe you want to intervene, even not just conflict situation, you want to intervene in a particular locality, you want to carry out a project, and you do your scenario and you discover that when you carry out this project, either let's say for instance you want to build a house or you want to create a borehole in a particular environment. If you do your analysis and you discover that after creating this thing, community A will pick up arms against community B, the best thing for you at that moment is not for you to embark on confrontation. But when you discover that when you create this particular solution, it will ensure that both parties are more happier. They are more happy and they can do things the right way. Then you can also continue the approach. So let's go straight, because of time, into how we think we can confront most conflict situations. And I will start by saying, first, please study the situation or context of engagement. It's not all situation you can confront. And when you study it and you discover, from there you will need to look at your scenarios. Now, and on this show, I think I've also explained to you briefly that there's a way you build scenarios. One of the ways you build scenarios is you look at what are the possible outcome of this action. If I confront the situation, will it be a best case scenario? That means, will everybody be happy? Will it be a middle case scenario that it will just, the status quo will just remain? Or will I lose at the end of the day? So you do those analysis. And the other one I'll be talking about is the use of effective communication. Now, oftentimes, and just like we know currently in the country, a lot of people are doing several things to discuss primordial identities. Primordial identities, these are things that are natural phenomena of characteristics of human beings. They are things that, some things like gender, some things like age, some things like the way somebody looks, they are not things we should use to confront a situation. What the best ways to confront a situation is you dealing with the issues, talking to the issues, pay more attention to the issues like competence, issues like what would this person do, issues like how would this person feel if I do this thing. So those are the concerns at that time. And I believe that Bilikisu, you can also share more light on how we can confront issues like this. Maybe one or two before we go. Okay,
you can confront conflict situation by being objective and use objective criteria. It could be by using of goggles. It could be by using of in-depth analysis from research by scholars. So you know, some people, once they want to confront conflict situation, they are not being objective. Yes, because some of them will be giving scenarios which are not true without having evidence of such scenarios. Yes, based on emotions. Thank you very much. Based on emotion. So you see, by you doing so as a peace builder, you don't need to be that. You don't need to confront conflict situation by the use of emotions.
You should use something like something that is general to all
something
parties.
that is general and objective. And you can also use a third party to confront such conflict situations.
Yeah,
yes,
that's a good one, and I believe that third party is still another topic that we'll be dealing with on this show. Third parties like mediation, conciliation, arbitration. Those are things, even litigation.
Yes,
where there are cases that you cannot settle on informally or outside court. Sometimes you might just have to confront the situation by going ahead to ask for justice. So we have several things we'll be discussing, but because of time, we'll just go on a short break now. And when we come back, we'll be discussing with our guest on the importance of strong institution to peace building and democratic processes. Please stay tuned, and we hope to join you again.
Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
and then you see these people, they are so agile, they can do it.
Politics.
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
Entertainment. Fashion. Culinary skills.
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside the pot.
Religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa. For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. News.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in abject 5%. Our young people raise purpose, the harmony, symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
We found that the 10 naira tax is not actually sufficient.
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching. Join us again at 9
KAFTAN
p.m.
TV News.
Welcome back from that short break to the Peace Building Convo segment. And joining us on this segment is Dr. Adiola Adams, a senior lecturer at Department of Peace and Conflict Studies or Conflict Resolution, National Open University of Nigeria, and the Vice President, Exams and Records, Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators. Today we'll be looking at the importance of strong institutions to peace building and democratic processes. You're welcome, Doctor, sir.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure being with you this afternoon.
Yeah, it's good to know that you have also been in the polity, one way or the other, at least observing what's going on in Nigeria and different things that we have been experiencing. I want to say we will be discussing on several issues, and I'm sure that you are ready for us, sir.
Yes.
So briefly, what can we describe as strong institution? I think we should start from that, because we are looking at strong institutions as something very important to peace building and democratic process. But let's start for our viewers to know what exactly is a strong institution.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me use this. Let me route it through this way. When you talk about strong institutions, we are talking about agencies institutions that help government to achieve its set goals and objectives. And for them to be able to perform optimally, there are certain ingredients that are required for them to be able to achieve that. If they are able to, achieve this to a very large extent, you say they are strong institutions. If they are not able to do that, just like we have in Nigeria and most African countries, the corollary of that is that they remain weak institutions. So, like I said, you can't separate those institutions from the state. The state itself, as we all know, is the center of human existence. Everything about, human person revolves around the state. It is within the state that you can become whatever you want to be, and there must be that interface, there must be that interaction between the state and the people. And if you want to measure if, the state institutions are strong, that interaction must give us some clue about the state of the institution.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor, for that. Please, briefly, for the benefit of people who are not professional as you, can you please help us break it down to know some indicators that we can look out for to identify if a particular institution is strong or not? Maybe like 2 or 3, sir.
Okay, well, the first thing is like I said, they are state institutions, and states were actually established through conquest, which means the element of force is usually, part of the state. So state agencies are known to enforce rules and regulations.
Okay.
And the focus upon which states operate will have to be, you come up with laws and you implement laws. You understand? So if you want to determine whether an institution is strong, you want to know the extent to which those institutions are implementing law.
Are you there, Doctor?
Is being unbiased. Like we used to say, you either have strong institutions or you have strong men. You don't have strong men. Those who think that themselves be bigger than the law. That's number one. Number two, like I talked about the other time, there is what we call legitimacy.
Legitimacy. Okay.
Yes. Christian must enjoy a level of legitimacy from the populace. The populace must support the state institutions. There must be that organic relationship between the people and the institutions. The people must see the institutions as their own replica. It is not there to undermine the people. It is there to help the people achieve, within the state. Help support the people to a very large extent. And that's what is going to bring that symbiotic relationship between the people and the state.
Symbiotic.
I think that's very, very important.
Yes, I also believe you did great justice to that. And before Bilkis come on to ask you 1 or 2 questions, let me just ask one. Now, looking at Nigerian situation that you briefly touched, we know what has been happening since the last election, and even outside election, we know we have educational institutions, we have different institutions of the state in relationship with the Nigerian people. And so bringing it down to our context, do you think Nigerian institutions are strong enough at the moment?
They are not. I've said it before.
Okay.
They are not. Our institutions are very, very weak. What we see driving most of those institutions are just mere, personalities. In the last election, people will tell you, I voted for Obi, not for
the okay.
Not for things. You understand? So, to a very large extent, our institutions are very weak. Look at INEC, for vulnerable to ethnic, is vulnerable to religion, is vulnerable to class capture. You understand? It needs to come influence. I talked about, the rule of law the other time.
Okay.
The bedrock of every democratic society is the rule of law. And I don't know if you have seen the symbol of, the law before. That blind woman who carries,
the symbol of justice.
Yes, of justice. That is, you are an unbiased umpire. You implement the law, not with emotion, not with frightening.
Wow.
But if you look at our society today, every action of the government is usually interpreted, in ethnic terms or in religious terms.
Oh, thank you.
Or in class terms.
Okay, sir.
All these are pointed to the fact that our institutions are very weak.
I think we could just have one more question for you, and like 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Dr. Adams. I have a question, but the question is, why are our institutions facing such challenges that you mentioned?
Okay, well, I think, I'm also a political scientist, and we have a history that tells us where we are coming from.
Okay.
And we know about how the state evolved. The state actually comes, to gain through conquest. People fought war, even in traditional society. They evolved through wars, through all kind of violence. You understand? Yes, that's how the state, came into being. If you also, cover with social contract theory, it also speaks to the fact that might is right. Whoever, has the might should rule. But the modern state, is being modernized. Let me put it that way. There are quite a number of other things that must,
Dr. Adams, sorry, can you hear me? Dr. Adams? Yeah, please, because of time, possibly we might still have to engage you one more time to still talk in-depthly, because I know you are a scholar. We can keep on, and especially as it affects democratic processes. But I want to say a big thank you to you, sir, for joining on this call, and we hope to have you. We believe that when we reach out to you again, you will be able to join us for us to have a more robust conversation. I want to say thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure is always mine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, our deepest appreciation goes to everybody that has made this particular edition a success. I want to say a big thank you to KAFTAN TV management team and the production crew, Abuja, the management and Peace Zone project crew of PEPNET, and all peace ambassadors across the globe that are helping and supporting us to keep continuing this particular program. I want to also say, please, this program will only survive by sponsorship and partnership, and I want you to, at every point, in case you want to sponsor or partner with us on this program, please do so by reaching out to us on +234 8109 661910, and or you can do that via pzone 2023@gmail.com. I want to say again that, please, this particular season is for you to be peaceful with yourself so that you can be peaceful to other people. Until we appear on your screen again, please try to stay safe, try to stay peaceful, try to stay developed, and we are sure that we will be able to have a peaceful nation that we all desire. So thank you very much for your time, and I want to say bye for now.
PEPNET, in collaboration with KAFTAN TV, presents Peace Zone with Peace Ambassadors.
And today is World Peace Day, and we thought
situation with professional peace ambassadors.